So I just played Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Honestly, not a bad game. It has some decent gunplay, it's got some interesting campaign features, and the multiplayer doesn't make me want to eat glass. Solid 5 out of 7, but that's not why we're here. My boy Zach Hazard recently put out a video taking a good look at a god-awful blow-up diagram of an M16.
Why?
At the end of the day, it isn't a huge deal given it's a background asset, but his critique was really entertaining nonetheless. And it got me thinking. Back in the day, Call of Duty actually tried to have some sort of ties to the real world. No, I'm not even talking about Modern Warfare or Black Ops 1, but the Scrolls of the Elders. Back when the series was set in World War II. I played the shit out of these games, and they often took the extra steps to ensure that not only would the player's weaponry look relatively grounded in reality, but the background assets would do the same. Sure, you had Stukas with inaccurate configurations, or M4 Sherman variants that were anachronistic, but they were still Stukas and they were still Shermans. When I learned that the new Black Ops 6 was set in the Gulf War, I was excited to see how it would pan out. It was the first digital war, featuring the first modern air campaign with stealth fighter attacks, precision-guided bomb strikes, and F-15 Eagles turning MiGs and Mirages into scrap metal. Given the association with air support Desert Storm had, I expected to see a good amount of aviation in the game, and well, excuse me, what the f*** is that? So modern Call of Duty games typically don't go the lengths of modeling real aircraft. We did get a decently represented F-4 in Black Ops Cold War, but for the most part, Treyarch has been creating stylized representations of aircraft. Starting in Black Ops 2, we got the FA-38, which was supposed to be like a successor to the F-35. Honestly, it doesn't look too bad save for the engine intakes being dual gun ports. At the end of the day, I'll give it a pass since that game was to be set in the far future year of 2025. Oh. It's not gonna be the future much longer. I didn't play any of the new Modern Warfares, I didn't play Black Ops 3 or 4, or Ghosts with its infamous new dog model, but I did play Cold War a few years back. Honestly, I loved the game, but the attempts to get around licensing aircraft really started to become apparent to me. Why are the stabs so small in the Tomcat? And oh god, you mean to tell me that's an AC-130? Now I have to wonder if the dramatic changes to aircraft has something to do with the 2017 AM General vs. Activision case, in which the manufacturer of the Humvee sued Call of Duty publishers for the depiction of their vehicle in games without a license. While the case was settled in Activision's favor, allowing them to use the Humvee under free speech, I'm sure they wouldn't want to deal with a similar case regarding aircraft. Now, I have no solid proof of this, but I'm just saying, it's interesting to see them starting to create all these fantasy vehicles after 2017 in games like Cold War and Modern Warfare 2019. So that leaves us with the planes of Black Ops 6. This game actually decently models a few foreign aircraft like the Mirage 2000 and Tornado, which are used in kill streaks. In the campaign, however, you have a so-called stealth fighter standing in for the F-117. Honestly, while this thing wouldn't have as good stealth characteristics as the real Nighthawk, I kinda like the look of it. It has a certain vibe to it that a fictional stealth fighter made in a 90s action movie might have. You know what? This one gets a pass. You also have the Blackbird stand-in known as the Harp, presumably for high-altitude reconnaissance plane. This one's okay too. It almost looks like a blended-wing body SR-71 and gives off Aurora vibes. You know, the supposed top-secret 90s prototype hypersonic recon bird? The one that had several documentaries and movies made about it? Oh hey, decent-looking Apaches. Yeah, they're longbows which didn't exist for another 8 years, but I'll take it. Even the Blackhawk stand-ins don't look any weirder than the Blackfoot and Metal Gear Solid V. They're kind of hybrids of UH and SH-60s, so it could be worse. Then we get to whatever this is. And I'll tell you exactly what this is. It's an unholy homunculus formed of an A7 Corsair II, an A6 Intruder, and for some reason, the English Electric Lightning doing the job of the A10. This thing doesn't make any sense. I can understand if they were trying to blend the A7 and the A6 to create like a generic Navy attack jet for the game, but it has twin afterburning engines stacked vertically in its ass end. Look, I can't wrap my head around how these engines are supposed to work. With 2 intakes on each side, you would need the ducts to twist from a horizontal to a vertical position in order to feed air to the turbines. Not to mention, who the fuck ever thought an afterburning A7 would be a good idea? Well, okay, you got me there. There was a concept for an afterburner-equipped Corsair II in the form of the A7F, but it was shit-canned as the F-16 was already on the case. But that still begs the question, who thought it would be a good idea to arrange the engines like this? Also, why are they strafing infantry when there are self-propelled AA guns right there, which would absolutely shred them? Honestly, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Activision, Raven Software, and Treyarch all got their buck, and only nerds like me would complain about it. So I guess just keep on doing this thing, guys, as long as you can save 10 to 20 grand on licensing fees. At least Black Ops 6 advertised itself as more of an action movie style game than anything historically accurate. At the end of the day, I wish the Navy jet in Black Ops 6 looked better. You wanna hear something funny? In a way, working around paying defense contractors for licensing fees actually kind of makes Black Ops 6 more pacifist than Ace Combat 5. You know, the game's shoving all this wishy-washy war bad in your face while at the same time paying companies like Northrop Grumman, Lockheed Martin, and British Aerospace Industries tens of thousands of dollars. Say it with me now, kids. Hypocrisy.